Hello everybody and welcome to Legal Studies Unit 3, Area of Study 2, the Civil Justice System Part 3. The focus of today's video will be dot points 5 and 6, the purposes of civil pretrial procedures and the reasons for a Victorian court hierarchy in determining civil cases, including administrative convenience and appeals. Pleadings. Pleadings are when documents are filed and exchanged between the parties which states the claims and defences in the dispute. The Supreme Court rules specify a time limit for pleadings documents to be filed and served on the other side. If a party does not stick to this time frame, they are considered to be in default and they risk consequences depending on the document. This helps to reduce delays. The Statement of Claim. The statement of claim is prepared by the plaintiff and served on the defendant. It outlines the details of the claims made against the defendant and the remedy sought by the plaintiff. The defence. The defence is prepared by the defendant. It outlines the defendant's response to each of the plaintiff's claims. It allows the defendant to put forward their version of the facts and defend any claims being made against them. Discovery. Discovery provides parties the opportunity to get copies of documents that are relevant to the matter, so there are no surprises at trial. Parties must disclose documents at the earliest reasonable time. These documents can include contracts, medical reports, letters, photographs, transcripts, recordings, or computer files. Directions hearings. Directions hearings are conferences with the trial judge where the court may give directions for the conduct of the case to assist in an effective, prompt, and economical resolution. It allows the court to take an active role in the conduct of proceedings. In the first directions hearing, matters relating to the conduct of proceedings are discussed and a date for a second hearing is set. In the final directions hearing, a trial date will be set so parties know when to be ready for trial. Some examples of subjects of direction include the use, number, and identity of expert witnesses, fixing the date for trial or a further direction hearing, the admissibility of evidence for trial, timeframes for discovery, and whether or not the parties will be required to attend pre-trial mediation. The purposes of civil pretrial procedures. Pleadings. The purposes of pleadings are to define the nature of the claim by outlining the issues in dispute and remedies sought by the plaintiff. Pleadings provide the defendant with a fair opportunity to deny, defend, admit, or counter the plaintiff's claims. Pleadings allow the parties to evaluate the strength of their case, which may help the parties to reach an out-of-court settlement. And pleadings provide the court with a written record of the case which allows the court to understand the issues and manage the trial and pre-trial procedures effectively. Discovery. The purposes of discovery are to promote fairness, that is, parties have access to the documents that are relevant to the case. This means that there are no surprises at trial. And discovery allows each party to determine the strength of their case, which may lead to them wanting to reach an out-of-court settlement. Directions hearings. The purposes of directions hearings are to speed up the resolution of the dispute by setting time limits, as well as to give the court a clear picture of the state of the dispute, allowing the court to allocate their resources accordingly. The court hierarchy. Every court has its own jurisdiction, that is, its power to hear particular cases. The original jurisdiction is the power of a court to hear a case for the first time. The appellate jurisdiction is the power of a court to hear a case on appeal. Below, I have included the Victorian civil hierarchy and the original jurisdiction as well as the appellate jurisdiction for you to familiarise yourself with. The reasons for a Victorian court hierarchy. Administrative convenience. Cases are allocated to a court according to their seriousness and complexity. Minor cases are heard in the lower courts and are dealt with relatively quickly. More complex cases that take longer to hear are heard in the higher courts. If there was no court hierarchy, smaller claims would have to be heard by the same court as larger claims and hence would take longer to hear. Appeals. Appeals provide parties who are not satisfied with the outcome of their case the opportunity to have it reviewed by a higher court. Appeals allow for any mistakes in the original outcome to be corrected. If there was no court hierarchy, a system of appeals could not operate as there would be no higher courts to appeal to. That concludes today's video. I hope that your knowledge of dot points 5 and 6 from Unit 3, Area of Study 2 have been consolidated. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below or send me an email. Thank you.